Saturday sometimes is a day off. Sometimes it's not a day off. Some people work Saturdays, some don't. For me, it's kind of a mixture. Usually I'm doing something related to some kind of work on a Saturday. Today, though, we actually went to a memorial service for a young man. He was 26. He apparently had major mental issues, and I guess they got the better of him. This was actually in downtown Houston. So it's about a 45-minute drive each way. Service was about an hour and a half, but it sort of, in a way, fits in with today's reading. Kind of. Anyway, here's the reading from the Science of Mind magazine, Daily Guides, in case any of you are not familiar with it, which is put out by Centers for Spiritual Living, of which we, Creative Life Spiritual Center, are part. And this is what Reverend Kelly's called it. She's called it One-ing in Unity with God. That's O-N-E-I-N-G. And I thought when I read that, why on earth would she say that? And then it dawned on me, I should have known. But I thought, that's a strange word to use. I kind of guessed what it was all about. The first quote is from a mystic with whom I'm somewhat familiar, Julian of Norwich. She was a Middle Ages mystic, and she wrote several publications. One was called Revelations of Divine Love. And since it was in real Old English, it's actually been translated into modern English by Mirabai Starr. And this is what Julian has to say. Remember, she's a mystic. She was a Catholic nun, or a Christian nun. I think the church had not split up at that stage. She was a Christian nun. She was called an anchorite, which means that her cell, the place where cloistered nuns go, was actually on the outside. So people from the surrounding communities could actually come and seek wisdom from her. This isn't in the reading, it's just because I know quite a bit about Julian of Norwich, and she had lots of visions of Jesus. But her view of the divine is more like New Thought, Unity, Divine Science, and Science of Mind, religious science. Julian says, it is only in unity with my fellow spiritual seekers that I am anything at all. It is this foundation of unity, this one-ing, that will save humanity. And then Ernest Holmes in A New Design for Living says, in mind, there is no time, no space, no place. There is only wholeness, oneness, eternity. And that was on page 194 of A New Design for Living. And this is Reverend Kelly, who says, we all have bad days. True. Some of us can even name bad years and times when finding a way out of our pain proved difficult. In these times, it seems like no matter what we do or how hard we try, our circumstances don't change. This place of despair is part of our human experience. It is often in the midst of this pain and feeling stuck that our spiritual journey begins. For some, not for all, of course. Julian of Norwich, also known as Juliana, was an English mystic in the Middle Ages, whom the church eventually silenced. It's not, anyway, it isn't totally accurate, but it's okay. It really doesn't affect the message. In her book, Revelations of Divine Love, she coined the term one-ing, O-N-E-I-N-G, by which she meant oneness, union, and unity with God, the divine. One-ing means you and God are not separate. There is no you, no it. There is only one. A little bit more about that shortly. The purpose of spiritual life is to recognize your oneness with the ground of all being, however you term it. My own quest for oneness, says Reverend Kelly, is an ongoing journey. I constantly analyze my true beliefs and examine my struggles under a microscope. Where is the separation? Where do my beliefs not match what I have been taught about truth? The more I realize and embody this truth of oneness, the more empowered I feel. I let go of effort and force more easily. I allow my higher power to work through me. In this way, I set down my bad experiences and pull myself out of the depths of despair. I don't know that I've ever been in utter despair. I've had bad minutes, bad hours, bad days, years that could have been better, but I don't think I've ever been in the depths of despair. I've been down a lot, obviously, most of us have. So Ernest Holmes taught this in a slightly different way. He would say that the divine, the ground of all being, has got two expressions. It's got a conscious expression and a subconscious or subjective expression, if you like. And that we are one with our source through this subjective expression. And that there is nowhere where the mind of God, the subjective mind of God, ends and we begin, and vice versa, nowhere where the subjective mind of God ends and we begin. So in other words, it's the same message but put in a different way. And what this means is that we have at our disposal the whole power of the universal subjective, the mind of God, if you like, as Einstein talks about it, at our disposal. Can we use all of it? No, because we're looking at it from this human expression here. And Holmes actually said that we can have as much of it as we can imagine. And if you remember, Einstein said that imagination is more important than knowledge. One thing about human beings is probably lots of other sentient beings, but we don't know. We have a wonderful imagination, and we can use that wonderful imagination to our benefit. So if we're going through a bad time, then we can actually use our minds to imagine what it would be like at the other side of that bad time. And if we can keep focusing on the light at the end of the tunnel, if you want to call it that, then eventually all the divine forces will be working for us and through us, and we will come through all of this. And I keep plugging this, and I hope people take advantage of it. We have practitioners who are trained to pray for people. Ministers are also practitioners. They've just had some more training to do different things. But we are here ready and willing to pray for anybody. So if you're going through a bad time right now, please reach out to us. Even if you're going through a decent time or a good time and there's something that you would like to manifest and you can't do it on your own, reach out to us. Every single Sunday, both in person and online, we have a practitioner of the day who is ready, willing, and able to pray for you. So please take advantage of it. Last Sunday, I needed prayer for something. The practitioner of the day was Jim. So I went to see Jim after the service. Jim prayed for me. He used spiritual mind treatment, which is what we call prayer, affirmative prayer. So please take advantage of that. And looks like the freezing temperatures here have ended, but lots of freezing going on in different parts of the US and around the world. Fires are still burning in California, in the Los Angeles general region. Please pray for those people. Please, in whatever way, shape, or form you pray, please hold them in your thoughts, and we know that will come through. Reverend Lisa will be back tomorrow around about 9:15 in the morning, and hopefully I can get on about 5 tomorrow evening, but evenings are a little bit more problematic, but I will be on tomorrow evening, whether it's 4, 5, 6, or 7 o'clock. I will be back then. So please tune into our service at 11 o'clock tomorrow. If you miss Reverend Lisa or me or the service, you can always get it on our Facebook page. And also, you can get our service on YouTube. So Until next time, namaste.